Hello everybody, this is Blurzz, and today I'm going to be yapping about why Isle of Lost Skulls is the hardest quest. And that is in my opinion, but I'll explain why in the video. Anyway, I'm literally just going to be yapping this entire video, so if you want to, go get some snacks and enjoy the video. Anyway, I've heard a lot of people say different things about which quest is the hardest quest in RecRoom. I've heard Crimson Cauldron, I've heard Jumbotron, I've heard Isle. Nobody said Golden Trophy, let's be real, that one's so easy. Anyway, but I haven't heard Crescendo, but I also haven't heard Isle very much. Because even though you can only have 3 people in a team, there's checkpoints. So all you have to do is just continuously play the quest, and you'll eventually complete it. You don't have to go all the way back to the start, and you can just like practice and you can do strategies and everything. But I think that Isle of Lost Skulls is the hardest quest to get S rank in. And I could have specified that in the intro, but I feel like it was better to just say it now. Anyway, but that's not the point. Isle is the hardest quest to get S rank in because you can't die throughout the entire game. Like, you can't use any checkpoints. And you can die. I shouldn't have said it that way. You can die, but you can only die like minimum 7 times. I'm pretty sure it is. And so that's what makes it so difficult, because all your weapons break, unlike Crescendo, where you can just continuously use the whip. Sorry, just pulled out the maker pen. But I think it's that difficult because if you can't retreat and just use a weapon over and over again, you can't bow spam, then I mean, you just can't retreat. And that's what a lot of people are used to doing, including like Bothia. Bothia said, this is my least favorite quest to solo because you can't fall back and let the enemies come to you without all of your weapons breaking and it being a complete mess. Which is true, and that's why I don't think I am going to be able to do it solo for at least a very long time, if not never. However, I also think that Jumbotron is a very, very hard quest to beat, let alone get S rank in. Even though it's a 4-player quest, just like Golden Trophy and Crimson Cauldron, it's so difficult because it, like, Jumbotron in the boss room spawns like 10 million enemies, and if your teammates or you don't know how to glitch walk, then you're kind of screwed, because that's what a lot of people use in the boss room. They just glitch in and boom, then they can kill the boss easily. Now, you may be wondering why I didn't say Crescendo is the hardest quest to get S+ in, even though there's no S+ in any other quest, it's just Crescendo. But you can only die like 2 or 3 times, and that sounds very, very difficult. Even though I've only gotten S+ once. Here, let me, like, hold on. I got the shirt from the S+ in Crescendo when I got S+, even though I've only gotten S+ once. But Crescendo also has checkpoints, but you can't use any of those checkpoints, just like in Isle. You can't use any of those checkpoints to, well, respawn if you want to get S+. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, if you can only die 2 or 3 times compared to 7 times, then why is Isle of Lost Skulls harder to get S rank in? And Isle of Lost Skulls doesn't even have S+. That's probably what you're thinking, or maybe you're not. But as I said earlier, your weapons in Isle of Lost Skulls, they break, and so it's really, really difficult to, well, fall back. And in Crescendo, you can fall back. You can just use the whip, and you can just like continuously hit the enemies, and it's fine. But in Isle of Lost Skulls, I don't know why, but you can have 0, and I mean 0 gold at the very end of the quest and still get S rank. I've gotten 0 gold, 1 gold, 0 gold again at the end of Isle of Lost Skulls. Here, I'll put a picture if it's not already there. In the background so that you can see, like, look at this, 0 gold, S rank. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Also, I like making just pictures up here. Like, look at this. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I lost track, my bad. Even though I've only gotten S rank or S plus rank in Crescendo once, that doesn't mean that I couldn't do it again. And I kind of stopped playing Crescendo to go to Jumbotron and Isle. So yeah, I might go back to Crescendo, and I know once I get the hang of a quest, I'm usually able to continuously do it. But yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say for this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments, or don't. I can't really make you comment. So anyway, bye guys, and have a great day.